Hey, it looks like we're live, so welcome back. Today I'm going to be building an allocator, memory allocator, in C. Alright, so this was actually a suggestion by somebody in the Discord, Amir, I believe it is pronounced. Yeah, so they provided a nice link in there, which is very helpful, just some information. So the one that I'm doing now, today, is going to be a region-based allocator, or an arena allocator, linear allocator, however you want to call it. It has a few different names. So basically, what that would be is, well, let me explain. In C, typically you will have a dynamic allocator. So you allocate using malloc, or calloc or whatever, a specific amount of memory. So like, a size of a string, right? Or sterling of a string, something like that, right? And then you have a very precise amount, and you know exactly what it is. But an arena-based allocator is where you allocate a large amount up front. You don't necessarily know how much it is, how much you're going to use in total, but you know, like, you need to allocate enough so that it is enough. So, like, you'd allocate, say, even a gigabyte at a time, or something like that. That's not a gigabyte, whatever. You get the idea. So you allocate a large amount, and then at the end of an iteration or whatever, you just free the entire thing all at once. So that's basically how it works. I didn't explain it very well, but hopefully you get the idea once I start implementing it. So this is one of the more simple allocators. It's still very useful, but I was gonna start simple, and then I'll gradually increase the difficulty, because there's a couple different types of allocators that I would like to try to implement. Yeah, so even like eventually implement my own actual malloc. Yeah, so custom malloc. That'd be cool. Yeah, but for today we are building an arena allocator. Alright, so I'm just going to get started. I'll make a simple hello world. And I've not used C in a minute, so I do apologize if I make some mistakes. Yeah, so let me make a build script. Okay. Alright, so I'll just use CC for this. And there we go. Alright, so that's all that I need for now. Alright, and let me build. And, whoops. Hold on a stage. Okay, I messed up the build script. Okay, I forgot to save it. Okay, I cannot type anymore. Now it should be saved. And then there we go, it built, and hello world. So we already have something going. Alright, so the allocator, reading the Wikipedia page. So, yeah, basically it's a region. So you allocate a region of memory. So I can sort of show that. So I'll make a structure here. Yeah, so this will just be the arena, is what I shall call it for now. So we need a few things in here. We need the capacity, the maximum size that we can have. And then we also are going to need the current size. So just size. And there we go. And then also we're going to need the data. So I think for that, it's going to be a single byte. I'm going to use this, and then I will use that. So this is the data. Pointer right there. Macy Dragner, if that is how you pronounce that, just followed. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm very bad at pronouncing names, so I do apologize. Okay, so basically that's what we need. So we need the data, which is going to be stored here. It's a single byte. And then, yeah, the size and the capacity. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to need a way to initialize this. Where we basically allocate it to the heap to start. So that is going to actually return an arena. And this can just be arena init. And we're going to need capacity for this. And then what we're going to need to do is allocate enough space for the capacity. So this can just be the data can be equal to malloc capacity. And actually I'll do, just for readability purposes, I'll do that. So that it doesn't really do anything because this is 1, but that's alright. Yeah, so then we allocate enough space for the capacity, and then we need to actually return a struct. So we will make a new arena. Yeah, and so the capacity is going to be capacity. The initial size is going to be 0, because we don't have anything stored in here yet. And then the pointer to the data is going to be this data here. So data equals data. There we go. And then we can just return the arena. And that should be all that we need to do to initialize an arena. So we can just make a new arena here. Call arena, and then it can be arena init. And the capacity, so we can do 1024 for right now. And then we can actually try this out. And there's some issues, so let's go through this. Alright, arena. Alright, actually, let me do this. Not return that. Because we're not returning the pointer here, so that's not going to work. Okay. Arena is undeclared. This needs to be an equal sign. Okay, and then this needs a semicolon. And I spelled capacity wrong. Okay. We do not have standard lib. H, there we go. Okay, what else? And there we go. So it actually compiled. And we did leak some memory, because we don't ever free it. But we'll get to that. So now we need a way to put something in the memory. Yeah, so we can allocate. We get 1024 bytes right now. So a kilobyte. But we need a way to actually allocate. So we're just going to return a void pointer for this. This is just going to be the pointer to whatever you allocate. So this can be called arena allocate. So we're going to need two things. We're going to need a pointer to the arena, and then we're also going to need the capacity, or the size, rather, the size of whatever you are allocating. Yeah, so calling this would be like calling malloc. Essentially, is what this is like. Except we already called the malloc, because we're not expanding the heap. All right, and then what we're going to need to do here. Let me see if I can remember how to remember the. All right. Basically, we need to, first of all, make sure that the arena size plus the size is less than, or is not, is less than, yeah, less than arena capacity. Yeah, so I'm going to use assert for that now, but I'll add, we're going to do some interesting stuff with that later. But for now, we're just going to assert that. So, because that way you cannot overflow your allocated space. And then, what we need to do is actually have the result of what we return, or the data. And that is going to be the location in the data. And then that is going to be the size. So actually, hang on, this is arena size. That's what I wanted to do there. So that is the current position in the arena. So it'd be 0 if for the first one, and then what we're going to need to do is actually set the arena size plus equal the size that we have here. So that'll push it forward. So if you allocate 15 bytes, for example, then size will become 15, and then that will be your starting point on the next allocation. Yeah, so that is what we need to do. All right, and then we can just return data, and then we get that pointer. So that is how we can allocate space. Yeah, so if I did everything right, let's see if it actually compiles. So yeah, this is actually void pointer. All right, we need to include assert. And then we are doing that on a void pointer, so we don't really want to do that. So I'll make this actually. There we go. And then this. Let's see. Whoops. Open that. There we go. And so now, we basically need to take the pointer to this and not the actual value. And there we go. So now it all compiled, and we should be able to actually allocate things here. But the issue is that we don't have any way to free it. So what we would do is actually, we would just, well, basically you would have two different things. You could free the actual allocation here, or you could just set the size equal to 0, and then you just basically start over and you overwrite the whole thing. Yeah. So basically, we could do arena free. And then we don't need any of that, so we just free it. So basically, we just take the data, or we take the arena size, and set it equal to 0, and then it's completely empty, and we can continue using it. Continue using it as that. But if we want to, this is really arena reset. And if you want to free it, we need to do something different. So basically, freeing it, we're going to take the data and free it. Yeah. And then we want to also set the capacity to 0, and then capacity. Let's see, line 24. arena data. That is correct. Thank you for that. Yeah, arena data. Yeah, that is right. Thank you. Okay. The capacity, we need to set it equal to 0 because there's not going to be any more capacity. The size can be 0, you know, doesn't really matter if you set that, and then we just need to free the data. And then it's free. So we can reset it and also free. Okay, so let's see if that actually compiles. And it did compile. Alright. So, yeah, that's basically what we've got now. So this is most of what you need, basically. So you just initialize space with the init, and you can also do arena. You need to take a pointer to it actually, so pointer. And that frees it, and we can reset it. We can allocate it. So let's try allocating something. So let's just do arena alloc. We'll pass in a pointer to the arena, and then the size. So just 18, sure. And then we can just have a pointer to that. So yeah, so we can get a pointer into that. Okay, and then we can allocate that, and then let's actually print that on the arena. Let's see the size of the arena. This is an important, so I don't know. Okay, because that should have changed the size. So if I run this now, it's 18. Yeah, so that is what we expected. So if we do not allocate it, then it will be 0. Okay, all good. So let's actually print all of the. We'll make just a simple function, just print arena, which doesn't return anything. It just will print out what we have in the arena. This can be comments because we're not going to change anything. I think it's like that. Yeah, basically we're just going to print everything that we have in here. Just so I don't have to type it out every time. So this will be size is that. The capacity can go first actually. Capacity is that. Actually it's there we go. And then the data, we don't really need to print that, but we could print the pointer. Data pointer is, there we go. Okay, so I'll just print that out. Arena dot, actually, well now we need to do that. So capacity, arena size, and then arena data. There we go. Something like that. And then I'll just do print arena, and pointer. And there we go. So let's build that. And I messed that up because I cannot spell cap city. Okay. And now if I run it, it prints out everything. So yeah, this isn't really useful, but still. So we have the capacity, the size, and that all looks good to me. So yeah, then we can allocate a few different things, and it's going to change each time. So yeah, we can just allocate 10, and then something like that. And then we can actually now redefine stuff. That makes sense. 3 and 2, sure. Cap city population column. Let's go. All right. Yeah. So then, yeah. So the size is 246 right now. So let's try to allocate over it, and it's gonna actually crash. So yeah, if I try to allocate 1,000 now, there's gonna be too many, and I need to actually change this. All right. So if I build it now, it's gonna compile, but when I run it, yeah, the assertion fails because we actually allocated too much. We don't have enough space for that. So there's a few different ways you can actually go about handling that. One of the ways, and the way that I would like to do, is actually a linked list. So basically, you have a region. This would be a region. And then you just have a pointer to the next one. So once this one fills up, you just make another one, and then you use that one. And you can allocate stuff there, and then once that one fills up, you go to the next one. And then if you want to free it, you just go through each one, and you completely free them. Because then that way, if it fills up, then you can just basically make a duplicate of it. And then, as long as you don't run out of memory, then you're all good. Yeah, so basically here, instead of the assert, if we would just check if it is going to be greater than that, and we just make another one and then start using that one, if that makes any sense. So that is kind of the plan. Alright, so, yeah, so let me change this so it actually will not fail. Okay, I don't need this hello world anymore. Alright, so we can free it. Let me also test out the reset really quick. So let me just do arena reset and pass in the arena here, and then print it again after that, and it should all be 0. Yeah, so it all becomes 0. And then actually, if we print it after this as well, it's actually it's all 0. Okay, so it looks like all the functions are working. Missing an equal sign. Ooh, yeah. Here. Okay. Okay, so let's let's see. Yeah, so basically we could have arena here. And then we could have struct arena next. And then that will just be the next one. So if it fills up, we go to the next one. And you're never gonna have too many, because usually you're gonna be using a large amount. So you'd allocate like 60 megabytes or whatever. That's just a random number. And then it takes a lot to fill that up. So you're not gonna have like 100 of these in a row. So it's not like there's a lot of complexity being added. So we could do something like that. It's not gonna change anything right now. We don't actually utilize it. So that is what we need to do. So get rid of this reset arena. And then I will add an allocation that is going to overflow it. It's going to be too many. And then what we're going to need to do is basically just check this. Same condition here. Yep, let's grab it here, and there we go. Then, I want to do stuff. So if it is not, let's see. Should I check it? Yeah, I'll just do not, because that is sort of the default. Then we'll do this stuff. Otherwise, down here, maybe commit that. Yeah, that's probably good. Sure. Alright, I'm gonna leave the next in there because it doesn't matter. Alright, yeah, so I will go ahead and do that. Okay. Let's see. Include simple arena allocator. Okay. Yeah, so that will be in the repo now. Yeah, so this is just the first stage of it. I always forget to commit stuff or working on new stuff. Yeah, so that's all good. So it's pretty simple right now. But why doesn't it use IDE? What do you mean? Why doesn't what use IDE? I mean, why don't I use an IDE? Is that what you mean? Okay, yeah, so next. So yeah, I can actually change it. So if not that. Okay, then we're going to do stuff. So if it is, then we need to make a whole another arena and then point to it. So basically, arena next equals arena init. And I think I'm just going to use the capacity of the existing arena for the init. So we will actually get that. Okay, so arena init. And then we have that. And then we can just set. So we need to allocate. So we need to set the arena next equal to next. Something like that. Probably might not work. Yeah, arena next equals next. And then we need to actually use that. So maybe actually I want to do this a different way. So yeah, I know what an IDE is. I mean, are you asking why I am not using one? Is that what you meant? And I don't think Adam's technically an IDE, but it's dead anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah, we're doing that, and we have the next one. Yeah, the reason I'm not using it is because I don't like I'm more efficient without it. Because I've gotten used to using Vim and all the keybinds, and then it's also faster to start up. Yeah, I used to use like VS Code or whatever, which is technically not an IDE, but it still is. Yeah, but I stopped using it. I like Vim better. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter. Okay. Alright, so let's see. So we're initializing a new one and then setting the next to that. So actually what we want to do is really this really needs to be a wall. So wall current. So basically we can make an arena current equals arena. Something like that. And then we want to wall current is less than that. Then we want to go to the next one. So actually I'm going to change this around. So then we can just do current equals arena next. Hey TV Josh, how are you doing? Yeah, so let's go to the next one. And we need to actually initialize a next one as well. So it's so then current next equals next. Okay. And yeah, this needs to be the arena capacity because we can use the same thing. Okay, something like that. All right, next. Okay, so we'll make the new arena and then actually switch to it. Well, actually, we need to check first of all if it already exists. So, so we need to set it to null when we initialize it. So we can do .next equals null, and then that way we can do if current next equals null, then we want to do this before doing anything else. Okay. Current next equals null. Yeah, something like that, and then we want to set it. We want to go there. So, first of all, we have to check if the size is greater than the capacity, because then we actually are just gonna fail because it's gonna loop forever. So I'll just assert that for now. Arena capacity is less than the size. Yeah, because it can't be greater than that. Otherwise, you need to make a whole new arena. Okay. So yeah, and then instead of arena here, I will just use current. Okay, something like that. And return me data. All right, so this probably won't work. And let's see what we have. So redefinition of 23. Okay. All right. And struct arena 2 from type arena. All right. Yeah. So I always get confused with these parts. Need that. Probably. Struct arena. Just do that thing. Oh, it's because it's a pointer actually. Because I need to do that. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So I need something like that. No. Okay, something like that. So arena capacity. I think I'll do that backwards. Okay, now if yeah, so we have the capacity and then the size. Okay, so yeah, I think it actually messed it up. No, actually, because if we print the arena next, it's dot. Only inside struct, but you don't. I don't know what you mean. Okay. So you lost address next address and allocate. Yeah, I don't know exactly. Show me the function. Okay. Yeah, probably doing stuff wrong. It looks like it did work though. Now allocated 1000 onto the next one. Variable next will lost. Yeah, it's gonna go out of scope, right? Yeah. So I probably need to do. I need to allocate it. Yeah. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, so I can use next equals size of, and then I can do let's see, I can do a mem copy, something like that. Let's see how to do that. And it's in string.h, so I need that. Okay. So yeah, test, then the source and the sign. Okay. So yeah, next, and then arena next. And so that's not actually gonna work because it's not a pointer. I don't think I can do that either. So I just want to write the value of this. So and then yeah, so the n. So we need the number of bytes. So I think I can do that. That's not good. Something like that. Yeah, then we do that. Okay. I might have fixed it now, but I probably messed stuff up. I'm not very good with this memory stuff. But yeah. Emitted is not a very good name. Maybe this should, maybe not. So, something like that. Well, so I did allocate it. And if I try to do that again, it's still that, and I can do dot next. And it should be 1000. Yes, I'm gonna actually change it to and then, yeah, 1023. And this one is still 1000. And then this is that. So there is some wasted space in here. Because this could have 1024 bytes, but it only stores that. But I don't think that's that big of a deal, really. Yeah, but if I do one of these, then it's going to actually store it in the first one, right? And it's now 6. Yeah, and it does store it in the first one, so it's not really wasted. Just not used if you're allocating too large amounts. Okay. So, let's see. Yeah, and then I can, if you free it now, we don't really handle the next. So we need to basically, just need to do, we need to do this for each one. So I'll do next, it's not, something like that. And then, actually we need current. And we can do current. Okay, and then current data, okay. And then we just need to do current equals current next. And at the end, we just want to set arena next equal to null, because we do not need those anymore. Okay, let's see. Something like that should work. So now if I do the arena free, try to print it, it should not work. That should be null. Yeah. Okay, it looks like it is. Unless I just messed it up, but yeah, I think it would so. Okay. Alright, so we still have the data pointer, but it is to unused. Yes, we can do that. That should free everything if I did it right. I probably messed something up. But yeah, so now we need that here as well. Just reset each one in the arena. So basically, do the same thing. Okay, next, it's not equal null. Current size equals 0. Yeah, so we just reset the entire arena. Okay. So I think that is good then. So instead of doing arena free here, I'll do it down here and then just do arena reset. And just put the arena in there, and then should all be 0. Alright, and it loops forever, so I did mess something up. Yeah, I didn't actually go to current equals current next. That's what I'm planning to do. Alright, and there we go, so its size is 0, and then the next should be 0 as well. Okay, and it is, and then the extra check, the next should also be 0, and then next will be no, so this will actually fail. Okay, looking good now. Alright, yeah. So I'm pretty sure that covers those, the reset and free. Yeah. So I think I'll commit this quickly. Okay. Oops. So yeah, just basically added this to arena. Alright, yeah. So arena. So let's go back into here. Let me just make sure it is working. So I have to do like run. and see if it's actually leaking memory. Let me do this. So we did actually mess something up, and we did leak. So, because of this actually, so we need to, yeah, because we're allocating that to the heap. So we can't do that exactly without freeing it. So yeah, we can just, for when we free it, basically we need to free the next one. First we need to go to it. So okay, yeah, so that's why, because we're not freeing this. So basically we need to go through and free it, and then all right, so I'm gonna do this for now. So do that, and wall, do another loop. And then I'll move it into the actual loop. We don't have two separate ones. Then we'll just make a temp. Oops. Temp equals current. Equals current next. Okay. Something like that. And then free temp. Right, we don't need to free that one actually because that one's not allocated. Unless the user allocates it. In which case that's their problem. So yeah, we want to start on that one. Something like that. Let's see. Alright, and then try it again. Alright, so we still do. Okay. I think there is an issue in my logic here, so okay. You don't clear allocate for arena. I don't know what you mean. Car alarm's blowing. For the first one, you mean? It's the allocate one. Okay. Let's see. So next is that. Okay. Yeah, arena next equals malloc. Yeah. And we're freeing it here. That is the idea. Because we're freeing the pointer to that, to the current, which is this here. Actually, we do. Equals that. Yeah, maybe I can change it. Next, and then yeah, because this is freeing each next one. Unless I am misunderstanding. Yeah, so that didn't change anything, but just clean them. Okay, sure. Okay, oh yeah, I can also enable some warnings. I usually do that. Alright, so I do have some issues. Unused variable, yeah, okay, those don't matter. Control reaches end of that. We're gonna reset. Oh yeah, because I don't remember returning it would be void. And then free as well. Yeah, I don't return those, so that is fine. Oh, okay, now we just have unused variable. So yeah, let's do. Alright, and then. Alright, how can I check that on here? Leak check full. I don't really know how to use Battleground, so figuring it out. Let's see. So, oh, it's because it ran it with that. So I need to do it before this. Check equals full. Okay. And let's see. So, all right, arena alloc. All right, yeah. So it is from there. Okay. This one specifically. Okay. So. Okay. Um. All right, I do have to go actually in like 10 minutes. Unfortunately, I will have to cut it short. So, yeah. So I will try to figure this out before that, though. Yeah. So basically, I'm not freeing it properly. This isn't. But, well, actually, that will. All right, yeah. So that would point it. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, so that is not it. But, so let me see. All right. Yeah. So, so. You're not freeing it properly. I'm gonna make it thread safe. If it is, ignore this comment. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what thread safe means in this context. Okay, so like that. Do we free the data on all those? Well, current is not equal. Okay, yeah, I think that's the issue actually. There we go. Maybe not. No. Alright, so it still does. So let me do check this one. So let's see. So it is now. Yeah, the same thing. So yes. Kind of sign equal no, kind of equal next. So let's see. So do we not? Hang on, let me do. That's too much. 1,000. Okay, so. 8 alloc 7 creates. Okay, so we allocate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then yeah, we get an alloc for each one of those as well. So, next is that current is not equal no. Pulls commit that. Yeah, I just wanted to. Yeah, there we go. That was the issue. I needed to check it. Check, not the next. Yeah, so I'll commit this now. Because it is working. And then I am actually going to have to go, unfortunately. I wanted to stream for longer, but I will not be able to today. But I got this pretty much implemented now, I believe. So probably a few things that can be worked out, which I can do off stream. Yeah, so next I'll do another type of allocator for the next stream. I will need some preparation for that though. But yeah, so it looks like that's pretty good then. Okay, yeah, so let me just Please go. Okay. So now that should be up. And yeah, so that is going to have to be it for today, unfortunately. Okay, full mode. Yeah. So I'll add a readme and stuff off stream as well, sort of explain what's here. There's the link or whatever. Anyone is interested. Yeah. So, all right, yeah. So thank you everyone for watching. And I will see you guys next time.